at Lincoln Way West Field for a U14 matchup, an NLSA U14 matchup between the Rockets in blue against the Missiles in green. The Missiles are coached by Tim Donovan, and their roster is Vincent Abella, Anna Ansleon, Kelsey Esselborn, Luke Brunger, Olivia Brunger, John Buell, Cam Dougherty, Dahlia Daum, Elizabeth Donovan, Christopher Lauer, Megan McCarthy, Chase Parr, Jacob Reyes, Eric Rojas, Ginger Strass, Amber Weinmiller. The Royal Blue Rockets are coached by George Neal, and their roster is Alyssa Anderson, Amanda Bazzetti, Mikey Chipetti, Mia Chimichoto, Brendan Del Coro, James DeFore, Trevor Fowitz, Miriam Gorecki, Sam Hoish, Charlie Kane, Austin Luckett, Mallory Magro, Isabella Marconi, Jacob Schreiber, and Ronnie Van Wormskirken. Thanks for the help. And so we're going through our warm-ups here before we start play. We'll remind everybody that registration starts December 1st for our recreational division. So December 1st, you can register your player for their next season for the spring season of New Lenox Soccer. Register early, register often, and don't forget, because we're bound to forget. I'm always forgetting, registering late, but register now, or at least by December 1st, and you'll be all set. So we'll take a little break here until we're ready for the start of action. So we're getting ready for the start of play here, and the second game of our night doubleheader at Lincoln Way West. Thanks again to Lincoln Way West for allowing us to use the facility. The kids really like to play under the lights. It's a very exciting event for them. And I believe it will be the Rockets taking the kickoff. So here we are. Rockets with the ball. Referee checking with his goalies, assistants. Make sure everybody's ready to go. And he whistles for the start of play. The ball's put into play by the Rockets. Played back to the Rocket midfielders, who then move the ball up. Looking for a pass. Makes a nice dribble. And sent up forward, and cut off by the the Missile defender. And so the Rockets come back with the ball. Play it back to midfield, and the Missiles take over the ball, push it forward, but it's sent back to the Rocket forwards where it's collected and pushed upfield, and a nice breakaway by the Rocket. Shot on goal, saved by the goalie. Rebound is collected and put away. Nice save by the Missile goalie. So he launches the ball into play. Ball looks like it kind of humped in the wind, and it's collected by the Missiles, who then send the ball forward to nice out wide, and it looks like it's going to escape both Rocket and Missile and go out of play. Rockets in blue, Missiles in green. I'm sure that I'll mess it up. And so there the Rockets are getting ready on the throw-in. Toss the ball in nicely. Pushed by, and I believe it went out of play. I'm not sure about the call. And so the Missiles will take the ball on the indirect free kick. Indirect. So if this ball goes in the goal without anybody touching it, it doesn't count. Indirect. And then the ball is kicked up the line and collected by the Rocket midfielder, sent back by the Missiles, and then forward again. A little bit of volleyball going on here as the sides are trying to push the ball through each other, and sent out of play to the Rockets. Again, there we go. Ball played to the Rockets and over and through, and played out again by the Missiles, so it'll be Rocket ball. These teams have faced each other a number of times. There are 4 teams in the U14 division, so they end up playing each other every other week. So this being the 3rd week, this is probably the 2nd time that they've seen each other, at least, maybe the 3rd. And so the Missiles then take over the ball and push it out of play. And so it'll be Rocket ball on the restart. Rockets getting ready for the throw-in. And they throw the ball in. It is taken and by the Missiles and knocked out of bounds, and it'll be another Rocket throw-in. So the ball pressed into play by the Rockets. Hopefully they can make a nice play and get another good opportunity on goal. Ball played in, and it is settled and taken by the Rockets. I believe that foul was in the penalty area, which means it will be a free kick or a penalty kick. And indeed, that is the signal. I'm not exactly sure what the referee's saying here. And it is a penalty kick. He just cleared up everything for everybody. So there's the penalty. Looks like players are familiar with it. So the Rockets will get a great opportunity for a shot on goal here, and they put it in. Making it look easier was the Rockets forward. Didn't look like the Missiles defender goalie had a chance at all. And so the Rockets tally their first goal, and it's 1-0. Penalty foul in the penalty area leads to a free kick. And so the Missiles play the ball back. Collecting are the Missile midfielders, who are stuffed by the Rocket midfielders, but able to recover possession and move the ball upfield. Looks like the Missiles are playing with a little bit more enthusiasm, and the ball is dribbled back to the Rocket goalie, who punts the ball into play, but it is collected by the Missiles, where and so then the Rocket goalie just launched the ball, a nice ball, but it is played out of bounds to the Missiles. It'll be a green throw-in, the green Missiles. And the ball played in, and settled by nobody. The ball bounced back out by the Rockets. I thought the missile forward is going to be able to settle that ball, but he didn't. So there's the ball thrown in and waved at by both players, stopped by the Rockets and sent out of play. It'll be another missile throw-in. So the missiles are moving down the field, slowly marching in, trying to put a lot of pressure on the ball or on the goalie or the missiles. And they play the ball through, and it's knocked again out by the Rockets. And so the missiles come back with the ball again. And a clumsy attempt leads to another missile throw-in. And they throw the ball in, and it bounces through, settled by the Rockets, and set forward, launched through and to the missile forward, who is unable to continue possession, but the Rockets then press the ball back and launched forward. It'll be a foot race that is taken by the Rockets and down the sideline. On the breakaway, he stops as the defender steps him up. He's trying to get the centering pass through, and nobody home, so the missiles then take the ball, then dumped back in for the Rockets and pushed down the sideline. Another foot race. Trying to center the ball are the Rockets, while the missiles trying to push them out of play, and unable to do so were the missiles. And then the Rockets take the ball away and send it back into play, where the missile forwards are doing a nice job of keeping the field spread out and working the Rocket forwards. And there it is, pushed through, pushed back, where the Rockets take the ball, but then the missiles collect it again. And pushed out wide, taken back by the Rockets. Looks like each team has settled down into its groove, and now they're starting to play hard. And a foot race again, and the Rockets are unable to contain and retain possession, and it's knocked off the end line for a missile goal kick. And so the restart, the missiles play the ball in, and it's collected and bounced forward. And the missile defense takes the ball and pushes it out wide, but nobody home. And so the Rockets are trying to press the ball back into play, into the offensive area, unable to. And so then the Rockets take the ball and launch it deep, but nobody home. Missile defender launches the ball into the air, where it will be settled by the Rockets and taken by the missiles, pushed forward and cut off by the Rocket defense, back to the missile forwards, but nobody touched it. And so then the missiles will misplay the ball, and it goes back to the missile midfielder, who presses the ball deep, and it'll be a foot race for that ball, but the Rockets are all there and will win as it stays in play, but not through. And then the Rockets take the ball through and try and push it up, but are stopped by the missile forwards, and again pushing the ball up and through into the middle, and cut off by the missile defense or Rocket defense. Trying to get the ball clear are the Rocket defenders, and finally the ball cleared out, but held in by the missile defense, who then push it back in, and the Rockets take control of the ball, move past and out of play, and it will go to the missiles. So the missiles ball on the throw-in, they throw it in nicely, and it bounces off of a Rocket defender, and it'll be missile ball again. And Rockets trying to move the ball up the field. They make a nice play up the sideline, but it's untouched. A little bit of volleyball right there, and that ball's going to roll out of play. And there the Rockets take the ball and play it back forward, but it is stopped by the missile defenders. Rocket forwards trying to continue to move up, and that ball is played out to the missiles. Missiles take the ball on the throw-in. And that ball will go to the Rockets. So each team working hard to figure out this surface and having a lot of difficulty getting any really sustained pressure going. So the Rockets trying to push the ball up the field again and played the ball up and through. Nice ball through, and there's a field switch that didn't quite switch. Trying to move forward, and then through, the ball pushed through, foot race, and it looks like the Rockets won that one. And a nice touch, and he's got a shot, and it is not saved. Oh, it dribbled under the missile goalie's hand and into the back of the net. Goalie had a great opportunity and just couldn't pull it off. And so the Rockets take a 2-0 lead. So the missiles will take the ball on the restart. Ball put into play and played back nicely to the missile midfielders. Played forward, and the Rockets take the ball and dump it deep. Putting pressure on the ball are the Rocket forwards, who are unable to corral it, but they do force the ball out of play. And that will be a Rocket throw-in. So the Rockets play the ball in and try to move it past. Unable to, ball bounced out of play. And so it'll go back to the Rockets. That last goal looked pretty disheartening for the missiles. Some of their life, the spring has been taken out of their step. And so the ball played out, and so the missiles will take over possession. They could use a goal right here. And the ball played back to the Rockets. And nice throw in. Handled by the missiles, and so the Rockets will get a free kick. Oh, I'm sorry, the missiles will get a free kick. And the ball played to midfield, where it's taken and launched deep. It'll be a foot race, and the missiles win it. A great opportunity. It's cut off by the Rocket defender, who turns the ball back up the field. A battle, great battle going on between these two players, and sent through the middle. And that ball is missed on the centering pass and collected by the goalie. And that'll be the end of the first period with some great action late, some good scoring. And we'll take a little break while we wait for the second period to start. And so we're ready to start the second period. We got a little in-between period entertainment from our referee crew doing a little juggling act. It's very entertaining. Thank you, referees. And I believe it will be a missile in green. The missile team will kick off with a 2-0 deficit. The Rockets are leading 2-0 over the missiles. So the missiles have a attempt to move back, and missiles bounce the ball poorly, and the defense has to come up and save them by making a touch out wide. And so the missile forwards then take the ball up the field, doing some nice dribbling, but lost it to the Rocket defense, and then push forward to the Rocket forwards, and a foot race to the out of bounds, and I believe it will be missile ball. And so the missiles on the restart throw the ball in, where it's touched by the Rockets, sent forward by the Rockets, and missiles hustling back on defense, able to cut the ball off and send it out of play. So again, the Rockets will throw in now. Rockets throw the ball into play, where it is collected by the missiles and kicked out wide. Nice clearance out of play. And so the Rockets take the ball and send it in. Nice underneath, and so the missiles collect, move the ball through, and send it forward, and it is contested hotly and kicked through, and there's almost a breakaway as the Rockets take the ball away and then knock it out of bounds, and it will go to the missiles. Missiles take the ball on the restart, send the ball in, and able to control it, settle, kicked it, centered it, but not through, and the Rocket ball, a little bit of volleyball there, and then the Rocket forwards take control. And a foot race leads down to the sideline where it's cut off nicely by the missile defenders, who send it up, and it is cut off by the Rockets. It's set back into the zone, but
Go, Cameron, that's you! Go!
Oh, poor touch by the missiles. He can't hold it in.
Nice try, Cam.
And so the Rockets will take the ball on the throw-in. Ball thrown in, headed by the missiles to the Rockets. Ball bounced around a little bit and bounced off of a Rocket back to the missile defense, who send it back in, and it's defense to defense. Got a lot of bunch in here in the middle, so breakout is imminent, and the ball bounces off the referee. He is part of the field. And so the missiles, again, stymied by themselves. And the ball played out by the missiles, and so the Rockets will take over possession. And Rockets play the ball in, but it's controlled by the missiles and then taken by the Rockets, who attempt a breakaway but are beaten to the ball by the missiles, who send the ball over the end line for a Rocket corner kick. So the Rockets are taking their time collecting the ball. And ready for the corner are the Rockets now, finally. Missiles getting ready, defending their goal. Rockets play the ball in. It's short. Collected by the missiles and shut down by the Rockets, trying to move the ball out of the Rocket defenders, and they do a nice job. That ball gets almost to midfield, but it's stopped. Another punt sends the ball deep, and attempted to send pass, but the missile forward was unable to collect the ball. And so there it is, the little bit more volleyball here, and then the missile forward tries to cut it back against the grain, but it's cut off by the Rockets, who then break for the ball and do a nice job of clearing. An attempt to center is broken up by the missiles, who then clear the ball out and send it wide for the missile. Nice move there. Unable to push the ball through were the missiles, and the Rockets are defense then cuts off, and then the Rockets push the ball out wide, and the missiles collect I thought that was going to be offsides there, but apparently not. My angle isn't as good as the referees, that's for sure. And so that stoppage in play leads to a Rocket throw-in. Rockets play the ball to the Missiles and send it to midfield where the Missiles collect and send it through. There's a breakaway. We got 3 Missiles on one goalie and unable to send the ball through, and the Rocket defense able to deflect it back to the Rocket goalie, who punts the ball to midfield where the Missiles collect and move up. Trying to move out wide are the Missiles that collected by the Rockets and set down the line where the ball trickles into the Missile defensive zone and they knock it out of bounds. And so it'll be a Rocket throw-in. Looks like we've got some fatigued players here as the action has been coast to coast. And so the Rockets ready to start the start play on the throw-in, and taken by the Missiles, who launch the ball deep, and it's a foot race. And again, here go the Missiles on the breakaway, but the Rocket defender's there, and there's couldn't get much any mustard on the shot. Was the Missile forward. Rocket goalie able to collect and launch the ball back over midfield, and played back by the Missile midfielders. And nice touch, nice stop by the Rocket defense, and launched the length of the field and out of play. It'll be back to the Missiles. And the Rockets will try and push up on this play as the Missiles will try and throw the ball in. They've got a lot of tired players, and so they throw it and the Rockets knock it out. So Missiles will take the ball. It's a spirited play in this second quarter. The ball thrown in, taken by the Missiles, and knocked out of play. Oh, no, not out of play, down the line. No Rocket is going to get to that before the Missiles do. And nice little juke. Nice dribble through traffic and sent up, but Rocket, no Missiles home to collect. And the Rockets play the ball through and out, and it'll be Missile ball. And so the Missiles looking at the throw-in, throw the ball in, and it is collected by the Rockets and switch fields by the Missiles, but the Rockets take it back and push forward, and there's their breakaway, and it is cut off by the Missiles. Rockets trying to collect it, but pushed around him. Nice cut, and moving upfield and knocked out of play by the Rocket defender. And so the Missiles will have the ball on the throw-in. Missiles throw the ball in to the Rockets and out of play, so they'll do it all over again. Missiles throw the ball in, and it's knocked on by the Rockets and passed through, and the Missiles take the ball and send it. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to get to that one before the Rockets do. And turn the ball up the field and out of play to the Missiles. So the Missiles have the ball on a throw-in once again. Ball played in by the Missiles to the Rockets, and the Missiles end up with the ball, but nobody home for the Missiles in center, and pushed out wide nicely, but cut off by the Rockets and knocked out of play, and it'll be Missile ball again. A lot of tired Missile players on the field right now. They've had some nice breakaways, but unable to capitalize on them. Here they take the ball, and it is kicked away by the Rockets. taken back by the Missiles. Moved upfield. Oh, and cut off by the Rocket defender. Another cut off by the Rocket. Another ball cut off by the Rocket defenders. And then sent back into play. Head ball. Everybody wants to make sure she's okay, and then they start playing on. And then the Missiles take the ball, taken back by the Rockets, sent forward to push through. Nice touch, and sent back. We're doing some volleyball here now, just kicking the ball. And that ball is launched out wide, where the Missiles take it, but then taken back by the Rockets. Some nice work going here. These kids are playing hard. And pushed out wide. And
Cam, stay open! Stay open!
passed wide.
Go, Cameron, go! You're open! Go!
Cut off by the Rockets. And it'll be a Rocket throw-in. Some great play by both sides here. This is an intense contest. Ball popped up into the air and settled and taken away by the Rockets. And moving downfield are the Rockets and out of play, and it will be Missile ball. Some very hotly contested action in this second game of our doubleheader under the lights. Taken by the Rockets. Played back and forth, a little bit of just kicking there. We're not really finding a target. And there's a foot race for that one. But I think the Rockets are going to win. And that is kicked out wide. And the Missile midfielder will send it deep, where it is knocked out of bounds by the Rockets. So the Missiles will take the ball on the restart. And the ball played forward to the Missile forwards. Nice touch, but it is collected by the Rockets. And switch fields, but the Rockets take the switch. Missiles trying to move the ball forward. Nice cut. And swipe at the pass just missed. And so sent down in deep was the ball by the Rockets, and so the Missiles will take possession on the throw-in. And here we go. With the Missiles taking the ball on the restart. They throw the ball in, and it is played out by the Missiles to the Rockets. So the Rockets throw the ball in, and it bounces off of the Rocket player. And down deep, and knocked out by the Missiles. Very nicely defended. And so we're waiting for the Rocket throw-in. Rockets lining up. Lots of Missiles home, and the Rockets throw it out deep. Very nice down there, and it's taken by the Missiles, collected and settled, and out wide, switching fields. Oh, and a poor touch puts it back on the toe of a Rocket player. He puts it back to the Rocket midfielder, and he takes off, but the ball is too long, and it heads all the way back to the goalie. Missile goalie punts the ball. What a punt. And that ball's going to go over somebody's head. And taken by the Missiles, trying to push the ball through. And they do. And the ball comes out wide. Pushed in deep by the Missiles. Plenty of time to collect it. And she keeps it in. And that's halftime. So the last run by the Missiles to try and notch a point before the end of the period is stymied by the clock. And so the Rockets go into halftime with a 2-0 lead, and we'll be back in a moment. All All right, we're getting ready for the start of the second half, third quarter, here at Lincoln Way West. A pitched matchup of, I said that completely wrong. It's a matchup against of the Missiles against the Rockets. The Rockets are in blue, the Missiles are in green, and we switch sides. Teams have switched sides here, as is traditional. The Rockets will take the kickoff, and the Missiles now defending the other end of the field. The wind is, I don't know if it's died down. It doesn't seem as strong, but it does seem to still be blowing pretty good. It is partly cloudy, I guess. You can see the moon, but here is the play, starting with the Rockets trying to both push the ball through and doing a good job of it, but the ball collected by the Missiles and trying to control and push it out wide are the Missiles, who then push the ball up the field and to the Rocket defender and past the Rocket defender. Nice breakaway opportunity, but the Rocket defense is there to cover up again. Rocket defense doing a great job of moving the ball and away from danger, and then the ball pushed out wide and sent back in by the Missile defender and taken out of play and thrown back in by the Rockets, where it's sent deep by the Missile defense. A little bit of dribbling, puts the ball out on the edge, where it is cut off by the Missile defense. So it'll be a Rocket ball on the throw-in. And trying to get some positioning by the referee, and then the Rockets throw the ball in. Nice throw, and it's kicked through, but cut off. The Missiles then take the ball, push it out, and out of play, and so it'll be a Missile ball Rocket ball on the throw-in. And so the Rockets ready themselves for the throw-in, where they push the ball into play, and it is missed by the Missile defender. Rockets push the ball through, unable to put a shot on goal, sent out wide. The Missile midfielder, or Rocket midfielders, come up with the ball and push the ball down the sideline. Missile defense is there to try and stymie and do a good job. The ball sent back through the middle and taken by the Missile midfielders. Push the ball up to the Missile forwards, who miss the ball and then recollect it and then send it out wide. Looks like we got a breakaway. He's hustling down the field. Rockets are trying to make it back. Nice centering pass, but the goalie makes a great save. Almost an own goal, and the Rocket goalie saved his defender. And Rocket goalie plays the ball back in and is all the way through and taken by the Missiles defender, and then steps up. Both of them are offsides. That one, there we go. And then the Missiles come back out with the ball, send it deep and over. Looks like we've got a foot race, but I think the goalie's gonna win the ball. So he picks it up and he's getting ready to punt it out wide. He's gonna switch fields back here and punts the ball. That ball's gonna go out of play. Nobody there to collect. And so the Missiles will take over on the throw-in. Trying to find the ball. Don't know where it's at. There we go. Now we got the ball. And the Missiles are readying themselves for a restart. Throw the ball in, headed by the Rockets. And stopped by the Missile defense, sent to... And then the Rockets dump the ball in and out of play, and so it'll go back to the Missiles. So the Missiles go and collect the ball. into position for the throw-in, where they throw the ball in, and it is bounces through, touched by the Rockets, touched back in deep, and out of bounds to the Missiles. And so the Missiles will take the ball on the throw-in. They throw the ball through. It is collected by the Rockets. And Rockets are trying to push the ball through, but unable to. Missile defense was able to stand them up. So it'll be the Missile throw-in again. Again, the Missile throw-in. We want to remind everybody, December 1st, registration opens for rec soccer, for New Lenox Soccer Association. December 1st. December 1st to February 2nd, I believe, is the registration period this season. Register now, or at least on December 1st. Don't forget. So the Rockets play the ball through, almost a breakaway, stymied by the Missile defense at the last moment, and the ball kicked clear. The Rocket defense all there present, waiting for the ball. And then taken away by the Missiles, who launched the ball deep. That's just a foot race, and touched by the Missiles, and doesn't look like she knows what to do with it. Sends it to a center, and cut off by the Rockets. 3 Rockets there. Rocket defense doing a good job. Missiles, oh wow. Missiles did a good job of collecting that ball, putting it on goal, and collected by the goalie. So the Rocket goalie will pick up the ball and launch it back into play, and there it is. Kicked out to midfield, where it's collected by the Rocket forwards. Make a nice cut and are unable to make it past the Rocket or Missile defenders, but the fight goes on. A hotly contested ball there, and that ball will go back to the Missiles. So the Missiles collect the ball and send it back into play, where it is played by the Rockets, and the ball bounced out wide and out of play, and it will again go back to the Missiles. So the ball thrown in, through, collected by the Rockets. Trying to change fields are the Rockets, but nobody home, and so up, and that ball is too deep. That ball is going to be collected by the Rocket goalie. Ball punted back into play by the Rocket goalie, and that will be a Missile throw-in. Ball thrown in by the Missiles, taken by the Rockets. Poor touch on the settle leads to the Rockets retaining possession, and then the Missiles unable to maintain possession, trying to push the ball through. And then there's the lob. Missile forwards are there, but unable to corral the ball and sent out wide. And that ball touched by the Rockets, who keep it in, move it forward, but are stymied by the Missile defense, who take the ball back across midfield, send it through to the middle, and it is centered. And a foot race. No call by the referee, and the ball is sent back out by the Rockets. And pushed through, and Rockets trying to cut it off, and there it is. And that's got to be a goal. Rocket goal. So the Rockets take a 3-0 lead over the Missiles. Rockets coming with a lot of pressure. The Missiles are trying to maintain, and that ball pushed out of play. So the Missiles will take the throw in, where the Rockets take control and send it up. And the Missiles collect the ball sent forward, and nice ball through, but stopped by the Rocket defense. And the Missiles again take the ball and send it up. And that ball's going to go in deep, but I believe the Rockets will win that race. Send it, collect it, and stop it before it rolls out, and send it up very nicely. Rockets trying to continue to move the ball upfield, and the ball rolls out of bounds to the Missiles. So the Missiles take the ball on the throw-in, and taken by the Rockets, and a handball. And so the Missiles will get a direct free kick out of that. So it was out of the box. But and it might be a little too far for a good shot on goal. Yeah. But he does get it into the box, and it does dribble through to the goalie. And so the Rocket goalie collects the ball and launches it to midfield, where the Missiles take it, move it back, are unable to continue their run, and sent back to the Rocket defense. And then the Rocket forward pushes through. It's a foot race to the ball, and it is won by the Missile defender and sent out of play. An excellent run by the Rocket forward out of nowhere. Ball tossed in gently, where it is challenged by the Missiles right away, and takes off down the field and sends it forward, and cut off by the Missiles, and then through. That ball is offsides. So the Rockets will take the ball on the free kick. And there we go. And so Rockets ready for the restart. And launch the ball into play, where it is collected by the Missiles and sent out to a Rocket midfield or a Missile midfielder, where the Rockets forward cut it off and turn it around back upfield. And they're coming down the sideline. Looks like he's got a good opportunity there, but it is cut off by the Missile defender, and it will be a corner kick for the Rockets. So Rockets collecting, preparing for the corner, and Rockets are in position now, and the ball put into play, cut off by the Missiles and settled, and then the Missiles take the ball and send it out to midfield, where it is collected by the Missile midfield or Rocket midfielders and pushed out, and Rocket forwards unable to collect the ball, and the Rockets are now putting pressure on again and pushed out wide and sent out of play, and it'll be a Rocket throw-in. Rockets putting a lot of pressure on to. And there it is, ball played in. Rockets in front and played awfully strongly to the other side of the field where the Missiles will have a throw in. And so their ball played into the Missiles, who were unable to settle. Rockets launched the ball deep, but way off target. That ball goes out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for the Missiles. Looks like we've got a lot of tired players on the field, and the Missiles are getting ready for the restart. And launch the ball into play where it is taken by the Rockets, and the end of the third period is whistled. And so, with the score now 4-0 Rockets, we'll take a break before the start of the fourth period. So here we are at the start of the fourth and final period of this game. The Rockets lead 4-0, but I believe the Missiles are going to put one through in this period. I just have a feeling. And so the referee is checking with his assistant referees and the goalies, and play is started. And
Behind you, control it!
and a poor play back by the Missile forwards to his midfielders leads to a turnover, and the Rockets have the ball. And they're trying to push the ball up the field, but they push it out of bounds, and so the Missiles will take over on the throw-in. I feel like I've been saying that a lot this game. I feel like the Missiles are doing a lot of throw-ins. And so they play it up, and the Rockets knock it out of bounds for a Missile throw-in. And there it is, played through. Rockets touch the ball. Missiles trying to control and trying to move the ball upfield and but it is cut off by a Rocket defender and out of play. So the Missiles will take another throw-in. And there they are. Ball taken by the Rockets. Trying to collect are the Missiles, who kick the ball upfield past their forward, who recollects the ball and sends it down, and it rolls out of play, and it'll be a Rocket throw-in. Well, there's a Rocket throw-in. It's not all Missile throw-ins. It's not so one-sided. So the Rockets getting ready for the restart. And collect and throw. Good, solid, strong throw is not settled by the Missiles. Out of bounds to the Rockets. So here's another throw-in, and that ball is launched, headed back by the Missiles, who move out to the outside. A nice run going upfield, and looks like tried to center it a little inside, but unable to, and that ball goes off the end line, and it'll be a corner kick for the Missiles. A goal here would put a lot of life into the Missiles, that's for sure. She plays the ball to the middle on the ground, where it's cut off by the Rockets, and they are free to move the ball out of the zone. The Missile defense steps up and pushes it out wide and then back very nicely. Very nice square right there by the Missiles, who then move the ball upfield. Unfortunately, unable to beat that midfielder, and the ball dribbles out of play, played back into the Missiles, who Rockets will have the ball. So the Rockets launch the ball into play, and that ball bounces out, and that will go to the Missiles. So missiles throw the ball in and not collected by the missiles, so taken by the Rockets, pushed out wide, and there's the Rocket forward taking the open space in front of him. He's going to make it around the corner there, and he's got plenty of space and time. He sends the ball to the center, and it's cut off by the missile defender. Missiles then take the ball, try to move it back out, but not able to. Ball missed by the missile defender and then rolled out of bounds, and it'll be a Rocket throw-in. I'm sorry, missile throw-in. And she throws it in, and it gets through. That'll be a missile midfielder kicking the ball out wide to the Rocket forward, but it.
Go, Ronnie! Come on, get it from him!
And then the missiles collect the ball, taken back by the Rockets and touched just out of bounds, and so the missiles will have another throw-in. And the ball thrown in and collected by the Rockets, sent in deep. Missiles on, Rockets on, trying to get the ball clear, and the ball is pushed out from the box, but the Rockets hold it in, and the ball sent in deep, and missile defense is not stepping up, and that ball is still alive, where the centering pass is taken, dribbled off of the missile defender's foot. Trying to clear the ball are the missile defense, and taken back and sent out to the missile midfielders, where they push it out wide. A nice run. Ooh, stopped by the Rocket defender. So push the ball out wide again are the missile forwards, who are moving the ball up the field very nicely on a nice run, and kicked out, and it'll be a goal kick for the Rockets. And here we are at the goal kick on the restart for the Rockets. Moving very nicely and launched into play. Held up by the missiles, but pushed out further by the Rockets, and that ball goes out of play for a missile throw-in. So the missiles throw the ball in and knock the ball out, and so it'll be a Rocket throw-in. Rockets launch the ball into play, but it is pushed out by the missiles. And here we go again. Rockets on the throw-in, throw the ball in, and it is settled by the missiles, who push the ball forward nicely. Ball is launched back by the Rockets, trying to switch fields a little bit there, and unable to do so. A little bit of back and forth, and then the Rockets come out with the ball. The ball is pushed downfield, and it'll roll out of bounds and to the missiles. So the missiles throw the ball in, and the ball bounces a little bit around and then kicked out by the missiles, where it's sent back into the Rocket forwards, cut off by the missiles, who kick the ball out, and the Rocket defense keeps the ball in the zone, and the missiles are trying to move the ball. There's a ball lobbed up high. It's a 3-on-1, where the missiles and the Rockets take a shot, and that'll be 5. Missiles slow to react on defense on the 3-on-1, and that led to another goal for the Rockets. And the Missiles are really defeated now. They're not looking like they're ready to play. And there's a nice playback. Play forward.
Get it, control it, cameras!
And nobody home, but a nice spinning ball for the Missiles, but unable to control it, and it'll be a Rocket throw-in. That ball collected by the Missiles and out of bounds, so it'll be a Missile throw-in. And through, that ball played out to the middle and into the zone. The Rocket goalie will pick it up and punt it into the midfield, where the Rockets forwards are trying to move the ball past the Missile defense, but unable to yet. And the ball stays in for a little while, but pushed out. And so the Missiles will have a throw-in. So the Missiles throwing the ball into play. Bouncing ball gets through, and the Rockets collect. There we go. The Rockets are trying to put some pressure on now, but the Missiles cut it off. And down the line the ball goes, and the Rockets will recollect. Oh, my fault. The Missiles will collect. Ball played, Missiles take it, played in by the Missiles, and the Rockets take it, and that ball is sent back out to the Rocket forwards, who missed the ball, and the ball's kicked back to the Rocket midfield, and a challenge leads the ball to be knocked out of bounds to the Rockets. Got to be in the final minutes of the period here. Rockets with a commanding lead. Missiles looking to break the shutout. And so there's the ball played past the Missile defense down into the corner, and that ball is going to roll out of bounds, and it will go to the Rockets. Missile's not covering up the middle right now, so a ball thrown there looks very good, but unable to settle where the Rocket forwards, and so the Missile defenders are able to punt the ball out. Taken by the Missile midfielders and sent forward, where it's touched by the Rocket speed by the Missiles, and a shot into the goal, and the Rockets and the Missiles break the shutout. An unfortunate touch by the Rocket defender led to a Missile breakaway that was converted. And so the Missiles have a little more life now. Late in the game, it still can happen. Goals come quick once they start coming. And so the Rockets play the ball in. It is sent back by the Missiles, and then deep by the Rockets. Are looking to get that point back really quick, though. They're going to end this rally. And there's the shot. It is mishandled by the Rocket forward. So the Missile goalie picks it up, launches it to midfield. Great kick. And that ball's bouncing. Bouncing, is it going to get through? No. The Rocket defenders finally settle the ball and send it back to the Missile zone, where the Rockets try and press the ball into pressure, and they give the ball to the Missiles. The Missiles will throw the ball in, and taken by the Rockets, sent up to the Missiles. The Missiles push the ball upfield, but then sent back by the Rockets, and that ball pushed in deep, but the Rocket defenders are there to collect, and pushed out of, oh, saved. Saved again. It looks like the missiles are gonna get a break. Oh, unfortunate trip there. What's he gonna call? He's gonna call it for the Rockets, so the Rockets will get a free kick from that play. And the ball launched in and taken by, oh, nice touch. Nice touch by the Rocket forward. Leads to the breakaway, another shot on goal, and that one is wide right and goes behind the net. So the Missiles will have a goal kick. Missiles setting up the ball. There's lots of Rockets down there and not enough Missiles. But he kicks it over their heads. Nice job by the goalie, and unable to collect and push the ball upfield were the Missiles, but the ball last touched by the Rockets, and so the Missiles will get the throw. And thrown right to the foot of the Missile forward, and taken back by the Rocket defense, and stolen by the. Yeah, I can. And there, the ball is kicked out of play by the Missile defender, and that's full time. So our final score is Rockets 5, Missiles 1. And thank you very much for watching this broadcast of the New Lenox Soccer Association's U14 Under the Lights at Lincoln Way West. We appreciate you watching, and thanks. Have a nice day.